Yeah, it's working.
Okay, friends, welcome back to yet another session of Thinking on Destiny. We learned a lot of in the mental destiny, and today Percival is taking us to Ashtanga Yoga, which we are all familiar from the Patanjali Maharshi. Before what Percival is going to give us, let us meditate on his consciousness. Let his true knowledge, whatever that he wanted to convey, as flow through me to every one of us. So please sit in a meditative posture, cross your legs and clasp your hands and close your eyes. Observe your normal, soft, tranquil breath. While we are breathing in, we are not only taking the vital energy from outside to our body, but also breathing in so much of nature, thinking, feelings into us. Those feelings are converted into thought without thinking. So you're giving an energy to the nature matter by your thinking, which are becoming thought. Now your thought has an energy. Which will be releasing into your psychic and mental destiny and will manifest in your destiny when time, place permits. So, while you are breathing in, breathe in all positive energy, positive thought. Breathe out your negative thoughts, low energy vibrations out of your body. Slowly place your hands on your eyes for a few seconds and open your eyes with a beautiful smile on your face. Before we go further into today's topic, let's Risha Garu recap what we learned last session.
Thank you, Prasanna Garu, for a short meditation. So friends, last section 27, Prasanna Garu has explained to us. So the breath, what the breath does, the psychic breath, the mental breath, and the noetic breath, the conception of breath and breath form. The breath of mother activates the embryo directly until a placenta is formed and causes the fetus to grow. At birth, the breath form unites with its form and the physical breath begins to swing directly into and out of body of the newborn. The swing of the physical breath continues until the time of death. The inflow of the breath makes possible digestion through influences from the physical world, circulation through influences from the form world, respiration through life world, generation through influences from the light world. The force of the breath affects these systems directly and merely through breathing air. We all know that we are triune self, psychic, mental, and noetic breath. The psychic breath is a movement in the psychic atmosphere and is like that of rolling, surging, and breaking waves beating in on the physical body, sinking in the physical body. The psychic breath has one center in the kidneys and another in the psychic atmosphere outside the physical atmosphere. Physical body, the breathing of the psychic breath acts as feeling and desire. Feelings of joy or sorrow result as the psychic breath carries the impressions to the doer. Mental breath. The mental breath has a center in the heart and two centers in the mental atmosphere of the human. One connects to noetic and other connects through the heart with psychic atmosphere. It does not flow as steadily as psychic and noetic breaths. When desire is at ebb, mental breath slows down. Desire is wild, the mental breath is agitated, thinking, active, passive, slow, and jerky. When your focusing of light thinking is perfected and controlled, here focus is maintained. When mental breath stops, then psychic and physical breath stop, which is unusual achievement. Noetic breath. The noetic breath is a movement like that of constant sunshine in noetic atmosphere. It has a connection with the pineal body and through that with the genitals in the human. It connected with spheres of the intelligence. How breath enters. When the baby is born and the cord is cut, the physical breath enters the heart through lungs. Then it takes possession of and operate the body. After few months, psychic breath enters the body, and with advancing years, the mental and at last the noetic breaths make contact with their centers in the body. After puberty, the three inner breaths with the physical breath flow until death. So how the breath flows and pranayam also explained, my dear friends. So thank you, Prasanna Garu. So section 28, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Today, we will move on to the section 28, which he talks about, as I just gave an introduction, Patanjali. He talks about the Patanjali and what is his wisdom and what are the 8 steps of right limbs of yoga, Ashtanga yoga, whatever we call. How that in terms of doer, knower, thinker. We will see the Patanjali Yoga Sutra in terms of percival wisdom. Okay. So let me share my screen. I hope you're able to see my screen.
Yes, Prasanna Garu.
Okay. So this is the thing, system of Patanjali, 8 steps of yoga, review of his system, ancient teachings which traces to survive, and what West wants. So if you take, because Patanjali Yoga Sutra is all about the meditation, right? So this is a Raja Yoga. We know that we have the 4 kinds of yogas, Karma Yoga, which we are all doing day in and day out. Bhakti Yoga, where we are surrendering to the God in Bhakti. That is a one yoga. Gnana Yoga, where we are learning. This is all the part of the Gnana Yoga that we are doing, sharing book clubs, all the things. And the Raja Yoga is a meditative path. So here Patanjali talks about system of Raja Yoga. It's a system that aims to train disciple by the regulation of one's thinking. Here he talks about mostly about your thinking, how you can regulate your thinking, how you can control your mind. So he has given like asampragnata, pragnata, so many kinds of things he has given it. But in general, that is the one. It is the best to clear mental atmosphere and thereby the psychic atmosphere of the human by the system of thinking. So first, if you can clear your mental atmosphere, your psychic atmosphere will get cleared, so that these two will get affected your physical destiny and you will be cool. Patanjali unites the Indian systems of yoga. Authority. He was the authority of the yogis that he can look, because he is the father of yoga, and he has given that how you can purify your mind. Sage Patanjali rules covers the practice of Raja Yoga, most valuable on this subject, because he has given a very valuable subject. How from the beginning of Sutra 1 to the 190 or 192, whatever we have, it's a very scientific way he has arranged. Okay. Only thing is, because Percival says it is written in a coded language because it was written in a Sanskrit. Sanskrit is one of the language that not many of us know thoroughly. So that can be interpreted by the different commentators in a different way. So whatever our perception or our knowledge is, whichever commentator that we are reading, right, it is going by that, because obviously whenever somebody, suppose let us take, we are doing some simple, I can take very minute, simple curry you are doing it, right? You will not take it as it is the recipe and you follow it. You will have your own ingredients, you will have your own style. You may say that my family likes it or something like that. You will do your own thing. Similarly, here, whatever that Patanjali Yoga Sutra says in Sanskrit in one word, in one sentence, every sutra is in one sentence. But whoever his commentary is doing, right, he will interpret, his own thing will be there. His own perception will be there, definitely. In a research, you call it as a reflexivity. His own things will automatically interfere in this. So that's what he is saying. They cover the period of purification of the morals through the various stages of thinking, to the attainment of the liberation, feeling from the nature. Here, you know that everything is, whatever that we are feeling in the entire thing is from the nature. When you are smelling from the nature. When you are hearing from the nature, isn't it? When you are feeling with the skin, touch with the skin, you are touching from the nature. The external forces of the nature only coming and impacting you. So, but here what he is saying, this attainment, liberation is free from the nature. It is not from the external things. So your thinking should not be with the external things. It should be something internal, your internal thinking. Feeling is identified as a fifth sense by Patanjali also. He calls the conscious, or sometimes the other names he may call it as. So here is the sutra, that Ashtanga Yoga Sutra. Yama Niyama Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana Dhyana, Dharana Dhyana Samadhi Tavangani, something. Okay. Here the total is the 8 components of the yoga. Hema is self-discipline. Yama all talks about self-discipline. Niyama, strict regimen. Asana, the posture that you can sit for a longer time, comfortable posture. Pranayama, how you can control your breath. Pratyahara, sensory withdrawal. You are actually controlling your senses from the outside to inside. Dharana, focus on something. Dhyana, meditate on something. And samadhi, you become that. Whatever you are meditating on, that you become that. You are being that, equanimity. So these are the things we will see in detail about this. Yama here is ethical restraints, right? So Yama, the first one is ethical restraints. These are the moral principles or ethical restraints that guide one behavior and interaction with others. How you behave with and interact with others. What are those 5 yamas? Are ahimsa, non-violence, satya, truthfulness, asteya, non-stealing, brahmacharya, celibacy, and aparigraha, non-greed or a non-possessiveness. These are the 5 yama principles here. So here, if you take yama principles, if you can, because forget about all those 18 or 192 principles. If we can follow in one's life, if we can follow these 8, you can attain, definitely you can attain whatever. But these 8 includes everything. He expanded the entire thing. So what is that cessation? What is that? He expanded everything, giving you the details. You may get so many questions when you start doing it. So what is that? Ahimsa means what? What is the non-violence? What we should not do it? So you should not harm anyone We should not, with your thoughts or with your words or with your deeds. So it is not only cutting the thing. Even if you are hurting somebody with your words, also it's a violence. Okay, non-violence, you should not hurt anyone. With your thoughts also, forget about words. With your thoughts also, you should not think anything, anybody negatively. You should not hurt anything, because your thought has an energy. That is what we have been learning. So thought has an energy. So thought, you should not think or send a negative energy to anything. Okay. Next one is with your words. You should not hurt anyone. And actions, you should not kill anyone or you should not hurt anyone. That is non-violence. Satya, always truthfulness. Asteya, non-stealing. Do not try to get somebody else as yours. It could be your friend or it could be anything. Do not think that you should just like that get it. Brahmacharya, celibacy. It is not that you should not or anything. It is you need to be in the celibacy is like you have to be with your partner or whatever it is. That is aparigraha, non-greed, non-possessiveness, non-greed. When it is not yours, do not take it. Do not take something which is not yours. That is an aparigraha. Just because they are giving voluntarily, don't take it. If they are giving voluntarily, there is an expectation build up. If you are taking, there is an expectation build up and tomorrow you need to give it. If you are not giving, then it is the problem rises. You can see that in so many in our lives. We are actually unnecessarily creating all these things in our lives. So much of the drift. Why to give? Why to accept? And suppose if you cannot give or if they cannot give, why actually again the pain? In the first place, don't give, you can give, but don't take anybody's thing. Aparigraha. Niyamas, observances. What are the observances? These are the personal observances or practices that promote self-discipline and inner purification. This is inner purification. The 5 niyamas are saucha, that is the cleanliness. You clean your body, clean your mind, everything. Santosha, contentment, whatever you have, enjoy. Tapas, discipline or a self-effort. Swadhyaya, self-study or a self-reflection, whatever we are doing. Ishvara pranidhana, surrender to the higher power with the devotion. So these are the niyamas that he is talking about, that we learn. Niyama, even here in this Yama and Niyama, Patanjali did not, Parsival did not sell anything differently. Same thing he told. Whatever that Patanjali Maharshi has given, the same thing he said, the same thing if you can follow, that's good enough. Yama and Niyama, because those are all very authenticatedly has written, and if you can follow, that's enough. Coming to the asana. Asana means we started with, okay, this is Sukhasana, this is Makarasana, this is so many asanas we can see. But here, in this case, the asana is the asana that you can sit with your spine erect comfortably for a long time, for your practice. That is asana. He mentioned only one sutra, Sthira Sukha Asana. Because later the yogis were developed so many other asanas which can benefit. Because all those asanas, if you practice, you will attain a state where you can sit in one asana for a longer time. That is the ultimate goal. Asana refers to physical posture practiced in yoga. Though the practice of asanas, one cultivates strength, flexibility, balance, and stability in the body. The asana prepare the body for meditation and help in purifying and harmonizing the physical and energetic systems. So your physical and energetic systems will be purified. So you need to be, whatever the asanas you are doing, you need to build your strength, you need to build your flexibility so that you can sit in one posture for a longer time to do meditation. The fourth one is pranayama. Okay, breath control. That is where in prana we are already taking the breath, but the controlling way of pranayama involves the regulation and the control of the breath to expand direct life force. That is a prana, whatever the life force that you are taking, right? So that one is the prana, that's controlling. It involves a various breathing techniques that help to cleanse and balance the energies channels in the body, promote relaxation and enhance concentration. So that is the pranayama. This is general uses, right? So here until here, so whatever the Patanjali says, he didn't deviate anything. He said the same thing. And let us see here in the pranayama, what else he mentioned. He talked about prana here. Okay. Prana is the force. Okay, that guides the 4 forces. Again, he is dividing 4 forces of the nature in the light of intelligence. What are the 4 forces of the nature? Whatever that earth, fire, air, water is there, right? These are the 4 forces of the nature. They are actually the prana forces, the guides 4 forces of the nature into the light of intelligence. You have the light of intelligence. It is taking that into the light of intelligence, tied up with the nature matter that has been in the mental atmosphere for human beings. That is all tied up with the nature matter only. Whatever this for prana, the only suppose you want something that is actually tied up with some nature matter only, right? The 4 forces are activate expressions of elements are fire, air, water, and earth. They come to human through his breath. They are coming to human through his breath, which is an active side of the breath form, and they go back to the nature through his breath. Yama means change from the old way of prana to the new way. What is that Yama is useful? Yama I'll take an example. Aparigraha example was given, right? Suppose I don't want to take from anybody. Suppose you came as a friend, you came to my home and you gave some gift. Let us take. Suppose when I feel happy and I took it. So the feeling of happy and accepting is also because the way that is an old way, let us take, because that's how we are all doing, right? That's an old way. I'm just taking the gift and feeling happy. Then in my mind, it will be, I have to remember, record it. Okay, when this friend, some ex-friend came and she gave, and okay, when I open how much it could be the worth, and I just need to estimate and keep that. Then when I go to the next time, there also, because that's the old way, there also the expectation will be there. Oh, when I went, I took that. Oh, she came without anything. That expectations build up. So you need to match her a bit higher. You will try to take some gift and go. This is the old way of thinking. Let us take. So what is a new way? When we are taking, no, I don't accept the gift. Sorry. Then your mind is, see, you need not remember. You need not estimate what is the cost of that gift. And when you are going, you can just grow freely because we haven't taken, there's no obligation. Is it not all this thinking baggage was reduced here? So if you are following all those 5, right, whatever those 5 things, then so much of thinking is going out of your mind. There's a simple way. There's a new way is just go simple way. In this way, if you could new way of breathing, you're not expecting anything because expectation, that is also you're breathing in, right? When you are not taken, the other person will not expect. So when they are not expecting, you can talk more freely. Okay, that is what we need to learn. The prana, how the prana flows. The nature matter is also flowing. The thinking, it is only flowing through the thought only it is going, right? That's what he's saying. The old way of going, out of the prana into the nature, the new way is return of the prana to the human without bringing its impressions from the objects of the nature through 4 senses. See, the same example, if I take, what is the gift that she gave to me? Okay. Oh, what is the cost that would have been? All these things are making an impression in my breath form. When I'm not accepting, I'm not making any impressions. So this is the new way. If you're not taking, if you are not making any impressions. So when you are not making any impressions, there's nothing that you need to worry about the next time. The particles of the nature matter. So this is a particle. The gift is a particle, the nature matter only, right? So that nature matter, you are not keeping impression on your breath form. Particles of the nature matter come through 4 senses. Okay, all those things are coming through 4 senses and their systems and bodies, the breath form and feeling and desire into the mental atmosphere. Here, the mix with the matter and the mental atmosphere are affected by the diffuse light of the intelligence. So what it is actually, see here, the breath form is feeling and desire. The breath form is consisting of feeling and desire, mental atmosphere. The feeling, when you take it, you are having some happy feeling. And the other person is expecting, they have some desire feeling. Or you may be expecting a gift from your friend, that is a desire feeling. So this is a feeling and desire. This is there in the mental atmosphere of any person. So this mental atmosphere, when all these things are there, what is that you are dealing with? The diffused light. The original light is gone. Your light got diffused because you are keeping so many impressions on your breath form. Go back to the nature with the feelings and desires as a thought. So these, whatever the things, so these will be released into the nature as a thoughts. As I told you just now in the meditation, thought has a power. Thought has an energy. So whatever you are expecting, you are thinking, so that you are releasing it as a thought, and that has an energy, and it is staying until it is fulfilled or until it is vanished. That is staying. They go back in the breath form, the four senses of their system, bodies born by the prana. So that is the energy. They go out with the human thinking, go out as a human thinks, and thinking let them go out. So you're with your thoughts, that feeling is going out and staying in the mental atmosphere. These are the carriers of the light of intelligence, which they take with them from the mental atmosphere, or the prana that underlies the four active forces of the nature and causes all actions in nature. So this is the prana that is going out to the nature. Whatever the prana means not just the breathing and if your heart is beating. All this is also prana, because that's also the living force that you are living, right? So with this light of intelligence, they take them from the mental atmosphere, or the prana that underlies the four forces, all these four forces, and causes the action under the nature. Whatever. These particles of the nature matter is called chitta. These particles, whatever these particles that are there in the nature matter is called chitta. So your mental, your chitta is consisting of all this mind stuff. Basically, chitta is understood as a mind or a mind stuff that you have it. Okay. Chitta vritti nirodha. So this chitta should be gone, right? As per the Patanjali. Chitta is the matter in the mental atmosphere in which a mind works, which it sends back to the nature, building stuff in mind. Okay. Chitta is what you are doing. You are building your stuff. So much you are thinking. 60, 70,000 thoughts you are doing per day means how much building blocks you are doing in your mind. Okay. In this chitta, using this chitta, you are building so much stuff through your mind. So that is all the prana that is taking in and going out. That then comes to the manas. The first one is chitta we talked about. Then manas. Manas is a Sanskrit word. Mind among the philosophers. Philosophers use it as a mind. But here that mind, whatever they are using it as a body mind. Whatever here the philosophers are using as a mind is a body mind, which is not distinguishing from the doer. It is not distinguishing from the doer to the nature, because body mind is doer and the nature. Because I want this, I want this, I want to read, or I want to go there. All this is the nature matter. And knowing what real intelligence is, and knowing what real intelligence is, are the functions of its faculties, or the relation with the intelligence bears what here are called seven minds of the triune self. So he is not talking about the manas means mind, not all the things. He's talking about only body mind. But here the mind is, there are seven minds. When you are bearing and learning about these seven minds, then you are actually, that is the seven minds of the triune self. So we need to go with all the things. That is about fourth one, which is the, what is the fourth one? Asana, pranayama. Okay, prana, how it is controlling. Prana means chitta, how it is, chitta and manas, he has explained it. Next comes to the pratyahara. It is in between. Those four are bahya yoga, we call it as. Okay, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama are the bahiranga yoga. Okay, and the last three are antaranga yoga. This pratyahara stands in between. If you have to club it, you will club with the antaranga yoga, but it stands in between. It is neither bahiranga yoga nor antaranga yoga. It helps in between thing. It will be there. Pratyahara, that is withdrawal of your senses. Everything in the world you are perceiving through your senses, isn't it? Whether you are seeing, whether you are hearing, whether you are touching, whether you are tasting, all these are things. So if you can withdraw your senses when it doesn't matter, right? Then pratyahara is a withdrawal of the senses from external distractions and sensory stimulations. So your sensations should not stimulate. It invokes redirecting the attention inward. It is invoking the direction inward from the external world. From seeing outside, you are actually trying to go and see inside. From hearing outside, you are going to go and hear inside. From tasting outside, you are going to see inside what it is. So you are actually, you are like a tortoise, right? You are actually taking all these senses and more. It is once it is done, it will take all this legs inside and keep it under it, right? So we are also taking those senses inside. Instead of looking out, you are looking in. It involves the cultivating a state of inner awareness and introspection. So here starts inner awareness, and we start doing the introspection of inner. Yogi can always use the powers that come. Controlled breath, Raja Yoga system requires that they use the pratyahara. So when Raja Yoga, when meditation, so when you are doing the pratyahara, there's nothing outside you can make, because anybody can wear any sari and anybody can eat anything. Anybody can have any good perfume, good smell. Your mind is not attracting to that, because you win those senses. When you win those senses, you will not attract here. Okay, you can make the impression of the breath form. So on the feeling, that nothing can make a impression on your breath form. The senses of exterior nature were conquered. You have conquered the exterior nature, but the doer can still make the impressions on the breath form. But still he can make the impressions, because the senses you already taken, something is there, some impressions are already within you. So those impressions, what they will do, when you got that power, right? When you got the power of that, you are not influenced by any external thing. The psychic breath, which is not mentioned by the Patanjali, continues to flow. Inside, the psychic breath continues to flow, since it is no longer interference by the nature and develops the psychic nature power. So because it is not interfering by the outer nature, so within you, that psychic power is there. That power it will get increased. The psychic power will increase. So when psychic power increase, what will happen? So here he has not, the psychic power happened, that you will get some kind of what is a powers, like you can see things far away, you can hear things somewhere away, because these are all the things which you already, the impressions are there. You will get those kind of powers. He talks about those things later, but those powers will be getting it. Then what will happen, we will see later. That's a pratyahara. Next one is coming to the antaranga yoga, which is a dharana. Okay, dharana means focusing, concentrating on one object or one thing. Dharana refers to the concentration, focusing the mind on a single point or an object of meditation. By developing focused concentration, and one learns to quiet the mind, minimize distractions, and cultivate mental clarity and stability. You will cultivate a mental clarity. You will have a stable mind. It gives the first stage in active thinking. Now you are actually active thinking. By pratyahara, he must have removed the rajas and tamas. In your mind, you would have removed the rajas and tamas, because you conquered the external senses. So your rajas and tamas was removed. Tamas gunas were removed. So what is left? Sattva gunas are left. Sattva guna means you have that light of intelligence, that whatever that power is there, it is there in the mental atmosphere. It made clear. It is not diffuse light of intelligence. It's a clear light of intelligence is there. Now you can focus on that particular thing. Patanjali speaks about dharana as holding the mind, manas, fixedly on some particular subject. Mind here, he means is body mind. Remember, he is referring the mind. Patanjali Maharshi is referring the mind as a body mind. The next one is dharana, dhyana, contemplation. Once you fixed on one thing, you contemplate on thing. Right? That is the dhyana meditation. Meditation is a practice of sustained meditation or uninterrupted flow of awareness. Always you will be, that is the awareness. Right? Meditation is not closing your eyes, clasping your hands, sitting there for an hour and then meditate and come back and do whatever you want. So it's not that. You are doing that meditation in order to increase awareness within you. So once you come out of that meditation also, if you can be aware throughout your day, then it is a meditation. Your 1 hour of meditation or 2 hours of meditation should decide how other 22, 23 hours of life should be. So if you are aware of those 22, 23 hours of life, awareness, if you are linking this, then this 1 hour of meditation time is good. It involves maintaining the state of focused attention, inner absorption, transcending the ordinary fluctuations of the mind through meditation. One deepens their connection with the higher self. You deepens your connection with your higher self. This is a lower self and deepens the connection with the higher self and experiences a sense of oneness and inner peace. You experience that sense of oneness. That is what, and you experience that inner peace. In this stage, one develops the power to keep thinking. So in this stage, you are going in the thinker stage. Keep thinking. It is a continuous thinking with the effort to get a right focus on light of intelligence, right focus for the light which is holding on the subject. Whatever the subject you are holding on, you are putting the right focus on that. So here you are at the thinker stage. Then last one is samadhi. That is a union, you becoming one with that subject, which is that knower state. Okay. Samadhi, union. Samadhi is an ultimate state of yoga, often describes as a state of blissful absorption and union of the divine. Blissful absorption or union of the divine. It is a state of complete integration and transcendence, where a particular experiences of the merging the individual self with the universal consciousness. Here it is saying, merge with the individual self with the universal consciousness. It means absorption of the mind into the subject, whatever the subject that you are focusing, to which the body mind was turned, focused and held. That is, you are becoming union with that subject. You are becoming one with that subject. Okay. The 3 stages, because whatever the dharana, dhyana and samadhi, the 3 stages together you call samyama. Those are the 3 states are together called a samyama. Samyama is the power of directing the mind, usually in the sense of manas or a body mind, to any subject having the knowledge that subject, that is having it, being it, and having its power and its knowledge. Having it and being it. We have the subject, being with the subject, and have the powers and its knowledge. Okay, that is what it is. We call it as samyama. So So when you are doing all these things, right? When you are doing the samyama, when you are doing all these things, what you will be getting it? Okay, you are doing that dharana, dhyana, samadhi states, you are getting it. The 3 states you are getting. What the Patanjali has given is, he consider all the things that are there in Vedas and Upanishads and he puts into his system. Because all those sentences, all the things are into his system. He is talking about the Brahman here, the Brahman or a self. But he did not, what he is saying is, he did not universal, he is universal self. One may say universal self, one may say Paramatma, one may say Brahman. So here he was not given, what he's saying is, he was not given what exactly that particular universal self or the Brahman is. So it is, his philosophy was not given according to the thing. Maybe what I can say is, according to him, he may be not able to understand the exact, because as he's saying, it is a coded language. He may not able to follow what exactly the Patanjali Maharshi is thinking through those stanzas. Okay, that's why he couldn't differentiate between this Brahman self and all those things here. Okay, without the familiarity of the language, he admitted in the later, he's saying, without the familiarity of this coded language, means Sanskrit, on the famous sutras, we cannot get the full sketch, because we have to go with the commentator sketch. Whatever the commentators talked about, we need to go with that search. So when yogi is performing all these actions, all the above actions, yama, niyama, prana, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, when a person is getting all these things, he will be samyama and he will become a yogi. That is what he will become, right? Once he become a yogi, when he passes through all the stages, all the 8 stages, when he is becoming yogi, he will have innumerable powers. That is what it says. So what are those innumerable powers? He may be knowing when the person will die. He may be knowing when he will die. He may be knowing when other person will be dying. Knowing one's own, he may be knowing one's own past lives. Okay, the other past lives also we can know. Now, knowing the emotions of the means the stars, how the clusters and how the stars are moving, how which star moving, what it affects the human life. And he may be making himself as invisible. He may be making his immovable. Thing, and he may be acquainted with the what are the celestial beings that are there in the energy levels. He may be able to do it. He may be walking on the water, because all these things we have seen in the Puranas and so many things, right? The person can walk on the water, all the things. So rising, he may rise onto the air. You may surround himself with the, you may become big or you may become small. So all these are the powers that a yogi will get it. When you actually following all those things, a yogi can get all these powers. So what he is asking is, when by getting all these things, by having all these things, where in the world that particular person, that yogi became, or yogi went away from the nature. Whatever these powers are all with the nature, right? Because when I know when can I die, so again I can, because it is with the nature. When I know I can walk on the water, it's a nature power. Again here, you are all already connected more closely with the nature. Here, what exactly that we wanted to become? We wanted to become isolate from the nature, isolate from our thinking. But when you are getting more powers, he is actually getting more uncontrolled way of the nature. So what is the way out? When all these things are happening, in fact, he's more securely bound to the nature. That's what he's saying. Formerly, he was not so secure, but now he knew for sure what is going to happen. He was securely bound to the nature. Each and every stage of accomplishment is connected with the nature only. Okay. He is not, because he is not dealing with he is dealing with the body mind. That's what he's saying. This is all sutras is talking about the body mind. But there is a thinker, there is a knower, which was not spoken in this, not spoken in this book. He is talking about, because the nature matter and intelligent matter. Now, no way he has distinguished. Patanjali Maharshi did not distinguish between the nature matter and intelligent matter. Nature matter is all the matter that is manifested, right? From the Brahman or from the Atman, whatever it is. So he is distinguished the Purusha and Prakriti kind of thing, like what we have in Sankhya Sastra of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, he deals with the liberation feeling, where we should get that liberated feeling, right? We should not care about all, where he has to deal with the liberation feeling. So here in all these things, when we get it, the entire thing, right? We are again with the doer only. You are tightly coupled with securely coupled with the doer. So you're connecting. So here he is talking about, now he's talking about feeling and desire of the doer nature. It's morely the feeling and desire of the doer nature, and the samskaras and impressions. Those impressions will be again on your chitta. Whatever that you can acquire all these things, because you are able to acquire all these things in your chitta, all these things will be there. And those chittas, whenever it is there and your samskaras was imprinted as samskaras in your breath form, that will become as a habits. That becomes produced as an habits. And because tomorrow you may be, because even life after life also, you will have those kind of things which are impressed on your thought, and all these things is carrying on. So here is a doer mind, let us take. And there are two minds, feeling mind and desire mind. So we need to get liberated from this feeling mind and desire mind also. So from feeling mind and desire mind, how you can liberate it? The observations of the Purusha, which is, if you are taking the Purusha, the sense of feeling, right? Let me stop it here. I could prepare only this much, the slide, but I'll continue. There is a stop. Okay. Here there's observations taken the senses, feeling mind. But in this book, which deals with what is in this, he desire mind, he could not show the proper ways. That's what he's saying. Maybe whatever that, I cannot say that Patanjali did not do it or the commentators did not do it, because Patanjali Maharshi, whatever he has written in Sanskrit, we are not able to completely decode it. We are depending on the commentators. The commentators could do only up to the body mind. So here he is talking about how that feeling mind will come and how the desired mind is coming, how we can do that. He teaches the isolation feeling, which he speaks the Purusha. he does not show how the desires are changed and how the desires are, as these desires are also should be isolated. The desires also should be seized somewhere. Now, so they cannot show that desires. What he is saying is desires cannot be seized until the last vestiges of the desires are destroyed. Your desires should be destroyed. Somehow your desires should be destroyed. If you are cessation, means if you controlled it, then somewhere or the other it may come back, because in your breath form, it is already there. When the breath form, it is already there, the impressions is already there. Even if you constrain, so I don't want it, someday, even now, even in the normal life also, you can see, but very tightly you are controlling one of the desire. What will happen? That time you may be feeling, okay, I'm able to control the desire. I'm not buying. I don't want to eat sweets, so I'm just control. You control for a month, okay, control for 2 months. Later, one day, your urge will come and you will eat sweets left and right. When you can control, when the desire of eating sweets is gone from your breath form, that is not there within, you don't have any impression within you. You are not feeling anything that when the sweet is there. Not only the external thing, internally also, all your vestiges of your desire of eating sweet is gone. That particular eating sweet desire was destroyed from your impression also, from your samskara also. Then only you cannot go and eat sweet. Okay, if you control yourself because you cautiously don't want to become a diabetic, or you became a diabetic, that's why you don't want to eat sweet. All these things you are actually controlling. Unless even the remnants of your desires was gone or destroyed from your breath form, from your samskaras, then otherwise this may come back again. The doer as a feeling and desire is only conscious self in the body. The doer feeling and desire is only the conscious self in the body. Whatever that self which is there in the body is a conscious self. So because nothing but feeling and desire of the so here in the body, the self is nothing but your feeling and desire. So whatever your feeling and desire you are doing, that only you are doing it. Your senses are controlling. Your senses are the organs of the body. It is evidence that anyone understand that you are the feeling and desire and conscious of the body, that what happens to you. You are conscious completely. You are depending on your senses. You are depending on your thing. Body is not conscious. Here he is saying body is not conscious of itself. Body organs or the senses are not conscious of themselves, but through senses you are able to perceive the things. Eyes cannot see eyes, I can say. Can I see eye? I cannot see the eyes, but eyes can perceive the things outside the world and can perceive and keep it in your impressions as samskaras in your mind. A tongue can taste so many things outside and can. The senses are not conscious of themselves. Similarly, the body is not conscious of itself, but the body is using as a instrument to get an experience of your feeling and desire from outside environment. From the outside environment, whatever is happening, external environment, through your senses, the body is getting and keeping inside. That self is the one which is experiencing. Though you are using your body, though you are using senses, they are not conscious. Here, who is that feeling? Is the tongue you are tasting, but who is that feeling? The taste of that feeling, who is that? That is the self, right? That self is the one who is in a very deep, but body, if you are actually deep sleep, right? When you are in the deep sleep, the body, you are not a body consciousness, right? You don't know, the body is not a conscious. The senses are not working. But tomorrow morning when you go, oh, I sleep like a baby and I got a deep sleep. Who is that? When your body is not working, when your senses are not working, who is that feeling that you had a deep sleep? That's you. That's the self, right? That's even in the deep sleep, that is the one which is coming up and it started working. The body and senses started working as soon as you woke up. So otherwise you are not able to, although your feeling and desire is there, that self is there. Although through senses you are just getting all this feeling and desire through your senses, but the senses themselves are not actually doing anything for themselves. So how to detach? Here is the question, is how to detach yourself from these entanglements. All these entanglements you have to desire, that feeling, desire, all these things. Patanjali's Maharshi gave some things, right? So some of the Nima, Yama, Nimas and all. So how you can not only that body mind, but also that feeling mind and desire mind, which are there in impressions. But even though he says that it is not covered, but I can say there is a asampragna, the samadhi, there are so many things. The minds also divided, may not be divided into the feeling mind and desire mind, but he has defined in a different way. But he will also say that even if you are cut off from pratyahara, he will also say that because you need to remove that impressions which are there within yourself. So you will know yourself to be what you are and know the body of the nature, what the body is. So when your entanglements, all these are removed, then you will understand what you are actually. What is this for body is for, what is this for body is all these things. The books of yoga all says that you got into the body and you have to free yourself. So all the books of the yoga, you will say that, okay, you got into the body and you need to free yourself. You need to free the illusion that you are the body, you are the senses. You need to come out of it and then merge with that supreme self. That is what we say, right? So they do not. So how? All the books, everybody is saying that you need to dispel. You are not your body, you are not your mind, you are not your senses. So you have to come out of this and then reach. But how? How is the one which is the question, isn't it? How you need to come out of this? You are not the body, you are not the mind. So we are given the tool, like the meditation is one of the tool to experience that you are not your body, you are not your senses, you are much beyond that. Okay, that's a tool. So here the book says that there is a universal self. Books, all the books, Paramatma, Arma, whatever in Hinduism we say Paramatma, and in general you say universal self, or you may say Brahman. That is the one thing, that's universal. And there is a one more thing, you are the conscious self, that is a you. You are the body, with the body and all, you are the conscious self, which you may name it as Atman or Purusha, whatever it is. You can name it as a Purusha or an Atman. And here is a Parabrahman. So you came from that particular Parabrahman and you want to go and become there. Okay, the embodied self, you are the fragment of that particular universal self only. Okay, you continue to re-embody it until you go and reach that. You'll continue to just go and come back, go and come back in this bondage of the universal self. So you will continuously you will do. So, but if the embodied conscious self was a part of the universal self that could reunite with the self, what books say would make impossible for the embodied body. If you are not giving any way, a path to go, then it is impossible. You will always be in this cycle only. Okay, how we need to know how we can make free from all these entanglements, how we can become one with the universal self, how I can come out of these illusions and delusions that I'm just with the body, that kind of thing, right? So how? You will say the isolated. It's not isolated. You isolate from all these feelings. What happens if the conscious self is isolate from all these feelings? What will happen? If the feeling was a part of the nature and if the desire was destroyed, since you feeling and desire are conscious self in the body, there is nothing left. You are isolated and you are free. That's what you're saying. Feeling and desire mind, you have to isolate. If the feeling were the part of the nature, feeling is coming out part of the nature, right? When you are smelling, then you are able to, the smell is from the nature. And you are seeing something, you are getting feeling. That object is the nature. That is not the Purusha. Purusha is something. Purusha is something different from the nature. I should not get any impressions or samskaras from the nature. Okay, and there's nothing left. So if you started isolating from all these things, there's nothing left. So you are free from yourself. But how? How from the universal to nature? The isolation, if you can isolate, if you can cut off, is the thing that is happening. How you can? Innumerable parts of the universal self. There are so many advantages are there. There are so many innumerable parts. Re-embodiments and universal. The statement is made that embodied self gets experience, that nature furnishes the experience, but it is not shown how the experience is really for any one benefit to you or to the universal self. What he is saying is, when the universal self is there, when you are there, when you came out of the universal self and you're experiencing so many lifetimes, and when you go back, and sometimes you want to go back, what is the use? Why we have to come from there? Why I have to experience all the things and why I have to go back? Is there any use for the universal self that you experience all these things and go back? Universal self is already omnipotent, omnipresent, and it knows everything. Then why it has to separate from itself and experience and go back and take all these struggles? Is there anything good is going to happen to the nature because you born and you sense, through your senses you perceived all the things? Is there anything good is happening to the nature? No. Nothing is happening to the universal self. Nothing is happening to the nature. Then what is the use of this? Then what is the use? Why we are taking a birth? So without birth, without any purpose, are we coming up just with the purpose of reuniting itself? So definitely that would not have been the case, right? That would not have been the case. Just coming and going out is not the case. So for every human being, there will be a purpose, a reasonable purpose. Universe, just the Paramatman will not just create us like that. They will have an universal purpose. The system, this particular human life, whatever that we have to, that purpose should be achieved. That purpose, it may not be appearing today. The purpose may not be appearing today, but you need to achieve. You need to understand what is the purpose and need to achieve that purpose. Okay, I'll stop here because of the time. So we will see how we can achieve the purpose. What is the thing? So ultimately, here he's concluding, it is not that getting the yogic powers or anything. It is that you need to understand your purpose of life and fulfill that purpose, because God has not created. Okay, you will get someday. You will get if it has to get the liberation, you will get liberation one day. Suppose, let us take you separated from the God and you wanted to experience certain things, some 100 things you want to experience. 100 things you cannot experience in one life. So you are taking 100 lives to experience each one. Suppose you want to become a teacher and experience how the teaching should be in one of the lifetime, right? So when you are becoming a teacher, what is your purpose is to teach the students or teach the disciples, whatever it is, right? Whatever you want to teach truthfully, teach ethically, teach to do your best. That is the thing. So when you can, without doing it, okay, if you take up some job and you are not doing your teaching properly, and you're taking your salary and you are not teaching the students properly or disciples, you are not doing, then your lifetime, you are, without achieving your purpose, you are actually entering a lot of karma baggage. Because you are not, whatever you are supposed to do, you haven't done it. So one is your purpose was not solved, and additionally you added some more thing. And next lifetime you wanted to become a doctor and serve. So you came to this earth and you became a doctor. And instead of serving the needy and serving the people, you started minting the money. You started using that as a business. So you became whatever you wanted to become. You became, but you lost your purpose. And you did something and you added some more karma baggage. So 100 things you want to experience, but because of the deeds that you are doing in this earth, because of that, what has happened, that 100 may become 1,000, because all the karma baggage should be distributed, should be done in one lifetime or the other. So that is when you will get liberated. When you have that much karma baggage on the top of it, if you sit in samadhi and do that, you will not be liberated. You have to understand what is your life purpose and fulfill the life purpose. The liberation comes automatically, because that's how, when you are taking away all your things, whatever the cessation, all the things that are there in your things, when you free, the soul is free from all these attachments, the soul is free from all those things, then you will be liberated. Automatically moksha or liberation will come. So the best tool is, the tool is the meditation, we can say. So the meditation is where you can dhyana, dharana, samadhi, right? So that dhyana and dharana, when you are doing, you can go inside. When you can go inside, you will understand what is your purpose. We are not here just to eat, sleep, raise the kids and go. That's not the purpose. There is something good. That's what there is. A service motto will be there. He will tell in the later things. There is a service motto for you. When you come to these things, you need to serve the people in the way that you took the purpose. Each one is going to serve the society in a different way. You need to do that thing. That will be the serving, will be the thing. But in what way? Yeah, one day when you are doing the meditation, you'll say, oh, this is my purpose, I have to do it. That kind of thing, you will get it. When you got that thing, you will go and serve the things. Okay, so you need to always. The other day when I'm asking the same question to one of the enlightened soul, they're saying, because when you are asking your mom, right, oh, I want that, I want that, I want to eat that sweet, what she'll do when, if you want to eat, one day she may not do, say second day she may not, but third day she'll definitely do it and give it to you, right? Because it's a mom thing. Similarly, when you want to achieve your purpose of the life, you start asking the God, oh, I want to do, I want to do, I want to do. When you started asking the question, what will happen? Oh, this soul is asking, let me give, because there are so many souls who are not asking what is their purpose. When the soul is asking to fulfill what is the purpose, let me give it. So you need to sit in meditation, ask for your purpose, then it will be given, and it will also give you the resources in order to fulfill the things. Okay, rest of the Patanjali Yoga Sutra we will see in the next class.